this is not a series where you can say all we got to do is have LeBron average 42 in the wins again and we're fine. Like, could LeBron do against the Raptors what he did against Indiana? I actually think he probably could. I think the Raptors have fewer bodies to throw at him defensively. I think the Raptors, we've seen it, they don't have a Thad Young, a guy that's LeBron's height and so thick. They don't have guys, a pest like Lance Stevenson. There's a reason that one of the big reasons the Cavs have owned the Raptors in the last few years is nobody matches up well with LeBron, right? But the Raptors match up particularly poorly with LeBron. So I think he could do what he did against Indiana. But that's no recipe for the Cavs to make the NBA Finals. That's no recipe for the Cavs to have high-level success. So what they need in this series and what they need in Game 1 is Kevin Love to come back. Kevin Love to whatever happened to him over the last few weeks, for that to be done. He doesn't have to be 20-12 Kevin Love, but he can't be 11-9 on 33% shooting Kevin Love. They need that. They need Tristan Thompson, I believe, to stay in the starting lineup for the time being, and they need George Hill to be healthy. Like, we know what LeBron can do against these guys, but if he has to do that against these guys, then they are in really rough shape for the Eastern Conference Finals, where I believe they will be. And so it's about, to me, Kevin Love, and to a lesser extent, J.R. Smith and Kyle Korver.
Why do we think that now the role players are going to step up? Now, after the last couple weeks of the regular season in the first series that took them 7 games, now the role players are going to say, all right, joke's over, said Kevin Love. Now I'm going to give you 25 points, and Kyle Korver and George Hill. No, well, George Hill was hurt, but the rest of them. Like, what makes it seem like right now LeBron's not going to have to shoulder the entire load?
No, he's going to. I'm going on what happened in the regular season. That's why I don't think they'll make the finals. I don't expect the role players to play great. Don't expect them to play great on the road. We saw what they did when they played at Indiana. If they didn't have home court advantage against the Pacers, they wouldn't be playing. We wouldn't be talking. Oh, we'd be talking about, oh, they're going to blow up. Where's LeBron going? What are the choices? Is he going to Philadelphia? That's what we'd be talking about. Now, Toronto, they do have home court advantage. Would I expect the role players to go to Toronto the next 2 games and play well? No, I'd be a fool to. I've been watching the regular season. Now, what I believe a key is George Hill. What's his availability? Because I believe he's a key component to what they're doing. So there's 2 things I'll be watching. We know that Toronto has a tremendous bench. They utilized that in the first series against Washington. Watch the bench scoring. It will be lopsided. But the only way the Cavs can win this series and win game number 1 is watch the starters scoring. Compare the starters score sheet. Watch how many points the starters score, because if the Cavs and starters don't outscore Toronto starters, because we know there's going to be lopsided for the bench scoring. So watch the starters and watch how many points they contribute to LeBron.
When you say you watched the regular season, I know you did, but we're watching the same thing and drawing 2 different conclusions. Because based on the regular season, Indiana's simply a worse matchup for Cleveland than Toronto. Indiana and the Cavs played 4 times in the regular season. Indiana won 3 of those. The Cavs played the Raptors 3 times in the regular season. Cavs were 2-1. Like, I think Toronto, while Toronto is a better team over the course of the year than the Pacers, we see this happen sometimes. Some teams are just better matchups than others.
Yeah, and sometimes we make excuses for people when they struggle. And that's what we're doing with the Cavs when they struggled to a 7-game series with the Pacers. We made excuses that, oh, they're a better matchup. They're not really talented. They don't have a bunch of people.
CC, hold on a second, though. I'm not making any excuses, but what we...
I didn't put you in there. Okay. I said people.
Okay. Well,
you put yourself in there.
Well, I didn't know. I don't know who else is out here.
Well, we're broadcasting to people.
Okay, sure. If folks out there are making excuses, then I get it. But when you... I don't think it's making excuses. I don't think it's reaching for something to say. It'd be one thing.
Okay, how's George Hill going to play?
What? Hold on. Let me finish the point real quick, and then I'll answer the question. It'd be one thing if the Cavs supporting cast, if Kevin Love, if what he did in the first round was what he did in the regular season. But it's not. Like, that is, I'm not asking for guys to play better than they've played over the course of 90 games. I'm saying, can Kevin Love play better than he played over the course of the last 7? Can Kevin Love be better than what was the worst playoff series of his career? I don't think that's a reach. I don't think that is a 1 in 10 shot. Like, what do I expect from George Hill? I expect George Hill to play Kyle Lowry to not a draw, but right beneath that. I think George Hill...
What if George Hill don't play?
If George Hill doesn't play, then the Cavs going to be in trouble. But I have no reason to believe George Hill didn't re-injure himself in Game 7. I have no reason.
No,
to
it's
believe.
back spasm.
Right,
like that's going to be. They're playing every other day. You think those back spasms went on vacation?
No, I don't think they went on vacation. But I also think that they.
I believe the back spasm will cause him to miss some time. All right. That's what back spasms do. And with this series with Cleveland, they got a bad draw. They're playing every other night. So LeBron trying to shoulder that load, it can be a burden.
And I'm going to say one other thing. Guys that I will not rely on, though. Jordan Clarkson, absolutely not. Rodney Hood.
What about JR?
Rodney Hood. JR I actually think will be fine. I think JR will be fine.
Oh,
I think JR will be fine. Rodney Hood, it's not just this playoffs.
Who Kyle Korver going to defend?
Let me finish.
Think he going to get quicker?
Quick. No, but I don't think Kyle Korver's out there to defend. I don't think Kyle Korver's out there to defend. I think Kyle Korver and C.J. Miles, when they're both out there, are both going to try to outshoot each other. I don't think C.J. Miles is going to beat him off the dribble. But I want to say something about Rodney Hood, because Rodney Hood was supposed to be an important trade acquisition. Rodney Hood played 11 playoff games with the Utah Jazz. He shot 36% from the field in those games. He was then unplayable in the first round. So you can't rely on Rodney Hood. You can't rely on Jordan Clarkson. So the bench gets shorter. But I think, for example, tonight, I think they'll start off the game with 4 straight plays to Kevin Love. I think they will try to get him off so LeBron doesn't have to shoulder the load. We'll see if they're able to do it.
Words, LeBron James. Words. LeBron's going to come up big again and probably score 175 points. Coming up, wouldn't bet on it. Are people sleeping on the New York Football Giants? That's next on First Things First.